Hi, it's Clara, playing by your side with songs and words. Today, I'm going to think about overthinking. Here, when I say overthinking, I don't mean worrying or stressing too much, such as rumination, as I mentioned in the previous video, but it's more like my mental resources are getting overloaded. The reason is, lately, I've caught myself overthinking way too much. At my workplace, we have an elevator and I often use it during the day. You know the type of elevator with three button panels, one next to the door and the others on each of side walls. This type. The side wall buttons are for wheelchair users and door side one is the regular panel. When you press the side wall button, the door side button also lights up. But if you press the door side button, the side wall one doesn't light up. So, for example, let's say someone presses the door side button for the third floor. Later, someone else gets in, also wants to the third floor, but he or she doesn't notice the door side button is already lit and presses the side wall button for the third floor. You get what I mean so far? When I say that, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with me, I can't help thinking, whoa, what a waste. I know it's totally meaningless. There's nothing actually wasteful about it. But still, I end up thinking the third floor is already pressed. What a waste. Same with guessing who's getting off at which floor based on the lit buttons and who got in when. I waste mental energy on completely unnecessary things. So, to sum up my long elevator story, what I'm really talking about is thinking too much about things I don't need to think about. Everyone does this in different ways. Some people are always deep in thought, while others think rapidly only when something happens. In my case, the elevator example is just passing the time and not so serious. But when it's about things I really don't need to be worrying about right now, I find it brings me down and makes it harder to focus on truly important things. So today, I want to share two things I've been practicing lately to deal with this: outsourcing the thoughts and mini-mindfulness. First, outsourcing the thoughts. I use my phone's notes, reminder, and even ChatGPT for this. I guess smartwatches work for some people too. This idea is to let these devices hold certain thoughts for me. Not like remembering elevator buttons, of course, but for things that pull my attention away from the moment. For example, when I'm thinking, I need to look for a lunch spot for next month with a friend, and I should write an email in 2 days. I'm running low on laundry detergent. And which exit do I take after this? In a train. In those situations, the most important thing right now is finding the right exit. The other thoughts can wait, but they still stick in the back of my mind, quietly using up mental resources. For me, the more unfinished tasks I'm carrying, the more I feel an unnecessary sense of urgency, even if it's something that can wait, like next month's lunch. The little fragment of worry piles up until I feel like something's always unfinished and I'm being chased. So I tried subscribing to ChatGPT. I'm still learning to use it well, but talking to it every day helps me figure out my to do list for today. At first, those lingering tasks still sat in my head, but as I got used to it, I started trusting ChatGPT to handle it. And I was able to mentally let go of some of those non urgent tasks. Not completely, but more than before. I also use my phone's reminder app a lot. If I know a non urgent task will pop up tomorrow, I can push it out of my head, at least for today. That's my first strategy, outsourcing my thoughts. Secondly, about mini mindfulness. Mindfulness is about focusing on here and now, not the past or future. There are many ways to practice it, usually taking at least 10 minutes or so for meditation or movement. But in the elevator, I obviously can't start meditating. So I used what my online counseling therapist taught me, mini version of mindfulness. It's just taking a simple deep breath and feeling the breath in my body. Or when washing my hands, noticing the feeling of the water. Or just paying attention to the sounds around me for a moment. It only takes a few seconds. As a naturally anxious person, after a few seconds, my thoughts come rushing back. But that's okay, because our minds run incredibly fast. Think about it. Even speech to text is faster than typing, and our thoughts move faster than speech. So even just a few seconds away from that flow can make a big difference. I haven't made this mini mindfulness a habit yet, but maybe with practice I'll be able to stay it in longer. For now, I'm just working on these mini moments. So today we thought about overthinking and my two ways to ease it, outsourcing the thoughts and mini mindfulness. This channel is a place to talk about mental health, share thoughts, and sometimes feel down together. I also post cover song videos. If you're interested, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!